Boom, 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 boom. Here we are, guys. What's going on? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little video for you. This is like a team news reaction video presser to the presser that Ten Hag's just done this afternoon and give you all the latest lowdown team news and predictions for the game coming up tomorrow night, Manchester United versus Brentford. Come on, United! Let's wash away that gas-tastic result against the Geordies and that gas-tastic result against Southampton and that horrendous result against Liverpool in the league by smashing up these absolute melters. That's right. Come on, United! No more excuses now. We have to start doing the business and performing. If we don't, we're in the mud, guys. Honestly, it's got to that stage now. I mean, luckily we've got teams like Spuds below us who are absolutely melting themselves. Let's all laugh at the Spurs, by the way, for slipping up. Get in there. You can always rely on Spurs to bottle it, can't you? And just give us that freedom in the top four. Let's go. But you know what I'm saying? This is very important, guys. This game tomorrow. Also, Brentford at the start of the season drubbed us up, didn't they? So we've got a little bit of revenge and a little bit of redemption to get tomorrow. Big time, for many reasons. We're going to get into it all right now, guys, in this video. Predictions and the preview throughout this show. So do us a favour. It's must win tomorrow. Damn right, Red. Come on, United. Thank you, everyone, for getting in the show right now. Let's just give a few shout-outs at the start of this stream here. I want to say hello there to Randon Lewis, Roberto Kennedy, G-Wolf United, Fire Up, Red, Bruce. Get in there, my son. Aaron, thanks for pinning the tweet to the top, mate. CZ Bam, Dean, Big Bear, let's be having you, my son. Sports Further and the Gungshi Leone-nator. Hello to you, Gungshi. Shadow Strike, Sports Further, John Boy, Bruce, Nicky Pendragon, Kevin Kilban, Richard, Xander Grogan, Chris Johnson, Johnny M. Who else haven't I mentioned? Malps, Lord PlayStation, Robardo, Richard, and Must Play, and everybody else as well. Bunch of legends. Thanks for getting in here for the preview, guys, and the team news and the presser reaction video. Do us a favour at the start of this stream, actually. Smash that like button. Just needed a sip of my tea there, folks. Smash that like button if you haven't done so. Give it a massive thumbs up. That'd be absolutely sensational of you. Drop a little like on this video. You know it makes sense. Share it around on social media. It's pinned to the top of the live chat on Twitter if you want to go give us a retweet as well. So let's get stuck into it then, guys. We have got some news. If you haven't seen, obviously, we did a video on it earlier. Just to upload in the end because the internet was gashing it up earlier on. Richard Branson just having a mare like Richard Branson does. I tried to do a stream at 8:15 this morning. It wasn't really very successful, guys, because the internet was just shut in the bed. But Luke Shaw is now officially still a Manchester United player until 2027. He has signed a new long-term deal. Get in there, my son. It's very, very good news. You know, it's very good news, guys, that Luke Shaw has signed up. It's, you know, it's pretty decent. Just thought I'd mention it because Ten Hag's been speaking about it in his presser also. He had this to say about Luke Shaw. He said, this is Eric Ten Hag on a new deal for Luke Shaw. He says, I think it's a good message. An England international. He's doing really well this season. He's a modern fullback, left fullback, but can also play other positions. He matches the standards we want to have. Okay, that's great comments there from Eric Ten Hag, and he's right, you know. Luke Shaw has been a good player for us. He has been a good player for England. He is multifaceted. He is versatile. You can play him centre-back instead of a human slab in terms of Harry Maguire. You can play him left-back. You can even send him down to the drive-through at midnight, and he's going to come back with a very hefty order, which is going to satisfy many people. This is the sort of guy that he is. You can rely on Luke. He's not the most outlandish left-back in the world. I don't think he is Roberto Carlos or anything like that, but he's got a cross on him. He can defend. He can do a lot of different things. He's a very good player all round. So that's good news, guys. Get in there, my son. We'd like to see it. Luke Shaw, get in there. Who's happy about it? Smash a one if you are. So just to breeze over it very quickly, Luke Shaw has signed a new contract, though, guys. That's great news. Let's get into the presser reaction then, just to give you the lowdown on what Eric Ten Hag has been saying this afternoon ahead of that Brentford game. It's obviously a very big game for Manchester United with the sort of form we've been showing in the league lately. It has been very poor, actually, our form, guys. Very poor indeed. If you think about just how bad we've been over the last 4 or 5 games, well, it doesn't bear thinking about because we have obviously lost to Liverpool in that atrocious result. We drew with Southampton, who are at the foot of the table. And we also made a meal of it against Newcastle United in that game just a few days ago, we were second best in every department. And they were the better team. You can't really deny it. Hats off to the Geordies, to be fair. Eddie Howe's done a great job with them. They're super unorganised and they're super hard to beat. And they just drubbed us up, didn't they? Do you know what, though? Fuck the Geordies, man. That's right, I said it. However melts. They are good right now. But I'd still rather win that League Cup. It's like there's been a lot of Geordies commenting on my videos the last couple of days, actually, slagging us off. Well, we won the trophy at Wembley when it mattered, though. Yes, okay, it's a big win for them, and they're in the top 4, and we want to get top 4. Of course we want to get top 4. It's a huge win for them. But which game would you rather win out of those two, folks? The League Cup final or this particular game in the Premier League that we just lost? Let us know. Have a vote in the live chat. To me, of course, it's the final. We drubbed them up that game, so they're not that bloody good, are they? You know what I mean? They're not that bloody good, are they? So they're giving it the big and saying, oh, you know, Newcastle have arrived. They're now going to be the team to watch out for and all this stuff. They were just better than us on the day. Man United, we didn't turn up. We know that Manchester United have got better performances in us than that, and players that are of a much higher calibre than what they displayed out there in Geordieland. So I don't think it's panic stations, but we are a little bit concerned with the recent form because it's not just that one game. Even that Fulham game, we were pretty gash-tastic, guys. We were lucky that they absolutely imploded. Otherwise, we would have probably lost that game and not be in the FA Cup. But there you go. But here is the latest from Erik ten Hag on our league form. He said this. He said, we played 60 minutes against Southampton with 10 men. We beat Fulham. We beat Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. So no concerns. Yes and no. I mean, I like what Eric's doing there. He's obviously staying super confident. He's not letting any worry or doubts creep into his own management and his own team. He doesn't want the team to start believing in the negativity that we've had a bad run and maybe we could go on and have another bad game against Brentford. He doesn't want to do that. He's just drawn a line under that guff. And he wants to hopefully approach this game with a positive mindset. But in reality, we do have to be a bit concerned with our recent form. We did beat Fulham. He's right about that. But we only really beat Fulham because they imploded. That's the only reason we beat them. We were second best to them in every single department. And also the Newcastle game was just an abomination in terms of the actual performance. I just want my lads to go out there and fight tooth and nail for the shirt. They didn't really do that. It was a motivation issue. In fact, Ten Hag and Luke Shaw and a lot of the players after the game said just as much that they were maybe less motivated than Newcastle United. That's just outright bang wrong. You can't be less motivated than the Geordies at any time. So very disappointed with the last sort of few games that Manchester United have actually appeared in. But we need to change that tomorrow with that drubbing up of Brentford, absolutely. So Ten Hag, though, keeping his cards reasonably close to his chest. He doesn't want any negativity creeping in. He simply said that we beat Southampton, or we got a draw with Southampton anyway. We beat Fulham and we beat Newcastle United in the Carabao Cup. He's right. So I'm happy that we beat the Geordies in that game rather than the one that we just lost at the weekend because we did win a trophy out of it. Get in there. So, you know, let's get into what else Erik ten Hag has said in this press conference. We've got a lot of team news to dissect ahead of the game, and then we'll get into some predictions, then we'll get into some team lineups, and all that kind of stuff. But we've got a lot of news to cover in regards to the team. So Aaron Wan-Bissaka has returned to training following his illness. Let's get some spider emojis in there. He was a big loss, I think, in the last game, so he had an overnight illness before, which is why he didn't feature. Dalot having to go up against St. Maximum. I think we would have been a lot better off with Aaron Wan-Bissaka in terms of his defensive abilities up against a player like St. Maxi, who's got the ability to penetrate you raw. So very much we did miss Aaron Wan-Bissaka in that game. Is he well enough and fit enough to come in this game tomorrow? Well, I hope so, because I do think he gives us a lot of defensive stability and guile. Hey, Berber and Vutinator, a couple of the legendary mods has entered the chat. What's going on? Guys, hit the likes button if you're just joining us. Let's have a little like spike and boost this stream up there on the algorithm, peeps. Share it around as well, any way you can, any which way you can, peeps. Give it a cheeky share. And of course, if you're new to this channel, then make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. We've got you covered with all the latest goings on at this mighty football club, guys. Okay, so he's also elaborated on Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Dalot. I mean, I'm just going to actually, we've got a little poll going at the moment. We've had a bunch of votes. Who wins? 72% in the live chat saying Man United. This is a Man United channel. 7% say a draw and 21% say Brentford. Thanks for voting on that one, guys. I'm going to end that now and just get a new comment in there. Shit, I've almost knocked the tea over. I've got a puddle of tea on my desk now. Bollocks. We're going to get a new question up in the live chat, guys. So please do have a little vote. But I'll just ask you now while I'm typing it. Who do you think should be our number one choice at right back, folks? Dalot or Aaron Wan-Bissaka? Get your thoughts and opinions in the live chat. But I am going to make a running poll throughout this stream just because it's an interesting talking point. I'll just put who is better at right back, and then we'll put Dalot and we'll go with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And we'll see what you legends are saying. But let us know in the chat what you guys are thinking. Okay, nice one. So Scott says Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Fire Up says Wan-Bissaka. Gungshi says Aaron Wan-Bissaka for me. Sheikh bin Berber says on form Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Yep, for the right back it depends on who we play against. Sing Games, what's going on, you Don? Yes, that's true. I mean, if we want a more attacking fullback, perhaps Dalot's the one. If we want a more defensive-minded one, perhaps it's Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And that's pretty much what Erik ten Hag has said, actually. So just to analyse what Erik ten Hag said here, when he asked about, you know, the prospects of who's perhaps his number one right back or who should be in contention for starting in the right back position, this is what he had to say today. He said, I think it's really close, the competition between them. He told reporters, he said, maybe Aaron gives you a little bit more defending. Diogo gives you maybe a little bit more offense. But I have to say, I think both have made progress in both areas. So it's really close. And that's fair because Dalot was really good at the start of the season. Then the World Cup came around. Then he had some injury issues. Wan-Bissaka wasn't really playing at the start of the season because Dalot was getting selected by Ten Hag and he was doing so well. And then after the World Cup, we've played Aaron Wan-Bissaka. We played him like 18 times. He's had 18 appearances for the club since then. So he's done well in terms of getting in the side and staying in the side and putting in really good performances. And I do rate Aaron Wan-Bissaka's performances slightly higher than Dalot's overall the whole season. So get your votes in that poll, guys. It'll be interesting. We'll stop that poll in a little bit and see what the results are. But in my opinion, yeah, Wan-Bissaka is just slightly more ahead because he's just a really good defender. Although he's not that great going forward and his balls are questionable. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. His balls into the box, his delivery, his service is questionable. Hey-oh! You know, then that's what I mean. He's got questionable offensive abilities. But in terms of his defensive abilities, nobody really can question Aaron Wan-Bissaka. His sliding tackles are absolutely awesome. That's a little bit sus, wasn't it, Red? Yes, Gungshi. So, yes, he needs some manscaping in his live Sing Games, doesn't he? He's got a bloody rainforest down there, the lad. Do you know what I mean? I didn't mean that at all. I meant his crosses, his passing is a little bit questionable. He has improved that, though. And I think what Ten Hag has said here at the end is absolutely bang on. He says, but I have to say, I think both have made progress in both areas, so it's really close. So it's good to have two guys like that, isn't it? Who, you know, who can come in and do a job for you. We made a video earlier on talking about Manchester United looking at Jeremy Frimpong over at Leverkusen, who's maybe a possibility for coming in. He's an offensive player. He scored like 8 this season, got like 9 assists or something over in the Bundesliga so far. He's a very good offensive right back. He's played right mid before in the past. But he's a right back, so perhaps it would be good to keep Aaron Wan-Bissaka, sell Diogo Dalot in the summer, and then perhaps sign an offensive right back, somebody like a Jeremy Frimpong. Because like Sing Game said, it depends entirely on who you're playing and how you want your team to play and what you need and when you need it. So yes, if you're coming up against the lesser teams, perhaps you want somebody that can really create a lot of chances down the right-hand side. I.e. you look at Liverpool with Trent Alexander-Arnold, you know, he's an attacking, offensive sort of wing back, if you ask me, but he can't defend to save his bloody life. He's shite when it comes to defending, an absolute clown shoe of a defender. So you don't want something like that when you're coming up against teams with really potent wingers. Like Newcastle the other day, up against Dalot, they did cause him a lot of problems. And, you know, you've seen Trent this season for Liverpool crumble because he's not actually fundamentally a good defender, I don't think. So you need somebody who can do both. But it's horses for courses. Sometimes you're going to want somebody who's more offensive. Sometimes you're going to want somebody who's more defensive. So it's a fair point. But just an update there from Erik ten Hag on Wan-Bissaka and Dalot. He's also given us a big update now, guys. Before I do, I'll just jump into the chat, read a couple of comments, actually, get on to the next point. Berber says, we would love a right back in the summer. We should have gone for Trippier last summer. Yeah, I mean, he is a very good player as well. Good option. Great set pieces, great free kicks, all that sort of stuff. Colleen Jr. says that Frimpong is pretty damn good. Yeah, I don't really know too much about him other than, you know, because I don't watch the Bundesliga, but other than the fact that everybody's always banging on about him, he's got that Dutch connection with Erik ten Hag, which is important as well, which means something. And plus also, he looks very good from an offensive point of view. You know, he does create, he does get good crosses in, he does even score. So that's something that we could add from right back. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? And we've still got the spider Wan-Bissaka there to do more defensive duties when we need it. So I think that would be absolutely great. So thank you guys for getting in here. We will have a big Q&A at the end of the show, but as always, we will dip in and out of the chat throughout for some of these talking points. So make sure you get your thoughts and opinions in the chat there, folks, with your, you know, your bits of nuggets of info there. Please do. I'll read as many out as I can. Scott says, defensively, Frimpong isn't very good even in the Scottish League. Well, fair enough, but when he's playing in the Scottish League, he's a bit younger. You know, he's only 22 now. He can develop. Plus, like I just said, he's somebody that's going to be more of an offensive-minded player that maybe you play up against the lesser teams, who's going to create a lot of chances and score you a lot of, well, score you a few goals from right back, but create a lot of goals for you. Whereas Wan-Bissaka, somebody to maybe come in against the tougher teams, defend, somebody that's going to be tougher for these really, really quality wingers to get the better of. So I wouldn't be opposed to getting a really good attacking wing back in, even if they are not as key at defending. What I'd say about Diogo Dalot, somebody commented on my stream earlier and called him Slabalo, which I thought was quite good. Diogo Slabalo. But either way, he's not as bad as Slabby is. He's a good player, but he's not really great at any one thing, I don't think. He is better going forward, but he's just okay at defending. And Man United need a little bit more than that. If you're only going to be okay at defending, we need you to be world-class at attacking and creating and scoring and all that sort of stuff. And if you're only going to be okay at going forward, we need you to be world-class at defending, which I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka is, whereas Diogo Dalot just isn't, or Diogo Slabalo. Right, so let's get on to the next big point, big update for you in terms of players that we've got potentially coming back very soon, and you know, just a big key update on Christian Eriksen. So this is what Erik ten Hag had to say about Christian Eriksen. Unfortunately, guys, Christian Eriksen is not ready yet, so he's not going to be ready for tomorrow against Brentford. But the good news is he's returning on the pitch soon. Ten Hag said that he's returning into the team training today. Come on, my son! Get in there! Let's get a hashtag welcome back Eriksen in the chat. We've missed him, haven't we? He's been the biggest loss for us along with Casemiro, but even more so with Eriksen, I think, just because we've had him out the team for a very long time and he's been injured. He was so good for us before he got injured. Him and Casemiro really had cemented themselves as a boss partnership. He controls it, he creates, he's very effective, his passing's great, he's intelligent, he holds it at the right time more often than not. He's just a good player. So we definitely missed him. He's way better than that absolute red bloody, you know, shortbread lover, Scott McTominay. Way better. So he's returned into the team training today. So we have to see now how quickly he can make the progress. So we're still a couple of weeks away from seeing Christian Eriksen in the team lineup, which is a big shame because we could do with him back right now. But he is back team training, which is brilliant. Get in there, my son. So Ten Hag, give us an update on Christian Eriksen. That's fantastic news. Can't wait to see him back in the side properly because he is just immense. And just to add a little bit more on Christian Eriksen there, Erik ten Hag was speaking about Eriksen and Casemiro, the fact that we don't have these guys right now. He was asked about the absences of Casemiro and the absence of Christian Eriksen, and he just simply said they're two quality players. The midfield department, you know, games will always be decided in midfield. And when you miss two quality players, it's clear. But you have a squad, if you don't have them, you still have to win. So he's not making any excuses. I like this about Erik ten Hag. He's not making any excuses about the gash performances we've seen lately from Manchester United with no Casemiro in the side. But it's a blatant issue that Casemiro is the ticking heartbeat of this United side, and Eriksen too, no pun intended. And, you know, we without those guys involved, we are a much worse team. So he's not making any excuses about the poor performances, but you can't get away from the fact that we're just way better with those guys in the team and way worse with them not in the team. And when you've got players like McTominay and Fred to then go and call upon, it just leaves you feeling a little bit suspect in the centre of the park there. I certainly don't like it. I don't like the fact we've not got the depth there to be able to deal with the absence of these guys. And they can't play every game. So just further highlights the fact we have to go out there in the summer and buy an absolute boss midfielder or two and make that midfield department a heck of a lot better and have a lot more depth and quality there. So, you know, I like what Ten Hag said, though. He's not making excuses. He says, we've got the squad. You've got to play the other players when these players are not available and get the job done. So fair play to Erik ten Hag. But it's a shame that Casemiro is out still for another 2 games, and Eriksen's likely to be out for another couple of weeks. But what that should mean is very, very soon you'll see a midfield consisting of Casemiro and Eriksen again, which means that we should be back to our best in that area. And he's right. You get overrun in midfield. Games can be won and lost in midfield. And that game against Newcastle United was really won or lost. It was lost in midfield because of how overrun we were. McTominay was guff-tastic. Bruno Fernandes had an absolutely feeble game, and it just wasn't even a great game by Sabitzer either. So the three midfielders there that we had entrusted to see the game out were just underperforming. They didn't play well. They didn't look comfortable. And Newcastle absolutely tore us apart. So that's a big problem for us, no doubt. And it will be a problem for us again in that Brentford game. But it does mean that we have to perhaps look at a couple of different other combinations. So I'll ask the live chat really quickly, guys. Get your opinions in. Who should we be starting in the midfield duo? So I think Bruno's got to play in the hole, even though he was crap in the last game. He was good throughout March. He's got to play in the hole. None of this McTominay up there, guff. That was absolutely pathetic. You know, don't know what Ten Hag was thinking with that for the majority of the game there. But Bruno Fernandes in the hole. Who's going to be the two players that play behind Bruno, peeps, in the midfield duo? Let us know in the live chat. So for tomorrow, I personally hope it is Sabitzer and Fred. McTominay may have been brilliant for Scotland. Don't care about that. He's guff for United, and he proved that again in the last game, yet again. He's so feeble, isn't he? So, yes, I mean, we don't have many choices right now. Donny's injured. Eriksen's injured, and Casemiro's suspended. So we don't have many options. But I would much rather see Fred flung in there from the start alongside Sabitzer than McTominay featuring. Fred and Sabitzer, says Chris Johnson. Yep. Agree, Bruno in the hole, says Gungshi. Absolutely. What was he thinking with McTominay in the hole? Fred and Sabitzer, says Sean Nettleton. Absolute mon, lad. Yeah, good shout there, Burby. Says, I'd rather give Lindelof a go at CDM than that Melt McTominay. Me too as well. Don't know why we've never tried that. So Lindelof's got very good passing. You can actually see a pass. He can play those sprayed long passes. He's got good distribution. And he's quite reasonably, good at defending. He's not a world-class defender, but he is a defender. He's a centre-back, so he's reasonably good at defending. It's not his natural position, but he has played there previously when he was younger. So I don't know why we haven't seen that, actually, Berber. That's a good shout. Same goes for Lisandro Martinez. I don't really know why we haven't given an opportunity to the Butcher at CDM. He's done it before in the past. So this is one thing I'd like to see. We could play a different combination in the back line. Perhaps you could see Malacia play left back with Luke Shaw left-sided centre-back. You could have Varane as the other centre-back, and that means that you could play Lisandro Martinez at CDM. He would provide you absolute butchery guile in the centre of the park there. We don't know if it would be a success, but I'm sure he would do a better job than Shotty McShotbag, to be fair. So, yeah, that's actually something to consider. Lindo or even Martinez playing there would be interesting, at least to see. I'm kind of a little bit surprised we haven't seen that from Erik Ten Hag this season, because he has done other things, like played Weghorst in the hole. He's also played Luke Shaw at centre-back. So he's not beyond mixing things up and trying players out in different positions. So I'm a little bit confused as to why he's not at least given Lisandro Martinez one game at CDM, or even Lindelof a game at CDM. So good point there, Burb lad. Mercato, what's going on, bro? He says, need a player that can link up with Martinez and get us on the front foot. Bruno is great up front, but can't bring the ball forward. Yeah, there you go. I think we need to have him in the CAM role. He's going to give the ball away a fair bit. He tries to make things happen, though. He's a creative player. I don't like him in the midfield duo either, Mercato. It doesn't really make sense, does it, lad? He's better further up the pitch with a bit less defensive duties, threading balls through, shooting on goal and stuff like that. Okay, Sativa Breeder. Nice one, bud. Thank you. I'll check the emails after this stream. Nice one, bud. Appreciate you. Colin Jr. says, Sabitzer and Fred, please no McTominay. Yeah, precisely. Okay, guys. So, yes, most people are saying that could be the case. I think he would tear it up at CDM. I agree with you. Guys, smash a one if you think that Lisandro Martinez would be a good option at CDM for Manchester United, at least to try. I think he probably would tear it up because he's a little terrier, isn't he? He's a bulldog. He gets stuck in. He's physical. He's nasty. He's aggressive. It could be Casemiro 2.0 here. So I think he would be decent. I honestly do. And Lindelof as well. Lindelof could be given a chance there as well. But I certainly think that Lisandro Martinez would probably be quite a good candidate to play. He can pass. He's got good distribution. He's got good skill for a centre-back. And you can have other options in the back line if you do that. I'm not saying bring in Harry Maguire, but you could play Lindelof, I suppose, alongside Varane at the back. It's not ideal. You could play Luke Shaw as a left-sided centre-back alongside Varane at the back. It's not ideal, but it just gives you other options. So I would welcome perhaps a little bit of tinkering by Erik Ten Hag to see if that could maybe happen, guys. So, yeah, thank you for getting in here. G-War says, how funny would it be if Ten Hag plays McFred? Oh, no. Don't curse us, G-Wolf. It's possible he might go with that, but it would be horrendous if he does. I think he's got to give Sabi a game in the next game, because Sabitzer did actually, I guess, perform the better out of the three in midfield yesterday. I think not by much. I mean, I don't think Sabitzer was that good, but I think he probably performed a bit better than Bruno and a lot better than Scotty McTominay. So I would give him a nod alongside Fred. But yeah, it would be funny if he did do that, wouldn't it? It'd be disgusting. So anyway, just wanted to mention that, guys. Ten Hag said that Eriksen and Casemiro are two quality players. The midfield department, games will always be decided in midfield. When you miss two quality players, it's clear, but you have a squad. So we'll see what Ten Hag does tomorrow. He's got Casemiro to come back in 2 games time, and he's got Eriksen to come back in a couple of weeks. So get in there. We will have a better midfield again very, very soon. What else did Ten Hag say in the presser? He said this, actually, nothing to do with us really, but just a bit interesting, and I think he knows the score. He said this on Chelsea sacking Graham Potter. Ha ha! He didn't say the ha ha, but he said you never get the time, you have to get the results. Top football is about the results. That's the game. You have to work on your process and find a balance. You know what I mean? I love Erik Ten Hag, though. He's just absolutely no nonsense, no bullshit at all, is he? A lot of people say, oh, you know, it's a bit sad, actually, that they sacked him because they're thinking about their own jobs and if they ever have a bad run. But he's just like, you know what? Yeah, he was shite. I mean, he didn't say that, obviously, but in a roundabout way, he's just saying, yeah, you got to win. You got to get results. You spend 300 million. You got to get the results. Just like I've got to get the results, and I've been getting the results, and I've been winning a trophy. If you don't get the results, you're going to get sacked. You know, that's basically how what Ten Hag says, man. He's just an absolute realist, isn't he? I love it. Rather, you always hear when managers in press conference are asked about rival managers being sacked, they always say something like, oh, you know, they're a good manager, and oh, and perhaps he should have been given a bit more time. Ten Hag's not really like that. He's just saying it's a results industry. If you don't get the results, you're going to get sacked, especially in top flight football. So he's got no sympathy, basically. I love it. I love it. Wessex Mercia. Wessex Mercia, thank you so much. Let's get a raw emoji in there for Wessex Mercia, lad. I appreciate that. He says, your shirt looks like a national speed limit sign. Thank you. I'm going to have to ask you to slow down and get down to below 60 miles an hour there, my son. Appreciate you, Wessex Mercia. Thank you very much indeed. Sean Nettleton says, Pig, what made you get that Man United shirt? It's so bad, bro. Do you know what? Screw you, Sean Nettleton, your Middlesbrough melt. Have a look at Middlesbrough's kits, mate. They're absolutely atrocious. You know why? Because it says fucking Middlesbrough on it, and they're a Guff Championship fodder team, lad. All right? Yeah, that's right. Don't be dissing my attire, bud. This is drippy, mate. This is fucking hashtag drippy, bud. What are you on about, mate? I'm hashtag dripping in fucking oozing sex appeal and machismo right now in this t-shirt, bud. What are you talking about, Sean Nettleton, mate? No, you've offended me there, Sean. This is a banging piece of attire here, my lad. I always I fancied this from afar a couple of years ago, guys. Didn't get it because of the Glazer shithouses. Saw it on eBay for a decent price, so I dipped my toe in there, and I'm happy that I did. I'll never regret it, my friend. I look fucking fantastic in this t-shirt, mate. All right? Absolutely, Dean M. Dripped out, bud. I feel strictly pimpalicious right now. Let's get a hashtag drippy in the live chat. Which is what all the ladies will be when they're watching me in this shirt as well. You know what I'm saying? So listen, wind your neck in there, Sean, and anyone else questioning the shirt. This is a good one. Oh, this is a good one, guys. Nice one. Okay. Steady on, though. Steady on, though. I'm rocking it, you know, in the words of Will Smith in Men in Black. I make this look good. You know what I mean? I make this look good. There's definitely worse ones. What are you talking about? This is a banger. This is a zebra kit, man. Come on. Thank you, Rajat V. He says, looking sexy there, man. Exactly. Where's someone with a mop and bucket, Berber? Absolutely, mate. Definitely, you know. They're going to need it. They're going to need it. All right. Okay, anyway, thanks for that. So, Ten Hag keeping it real about Potter there, guys. Hey, Chris Koo and John Boy, what's going on? Chris Koo, we're talking about my shirt, mate. I like it. Guys, smash a 1 if you like it. Smash it 2 if you think this is an absolute abomination of a shirt. Sean Nettleton's entitled to his opinion, but I just want to highlight the fact that again, he is a Middlesbrough fan. You know what I mean? So his opinion just is very limited to any sort of meaningfulness whatsoever. Do you know what I mean? Okay, mostly 1s, couple of 2s. You can't please everyone all of the time. Right. Yeah, exactly, Berber says, I like weird kits. You've got that one and the avocado one. Precisely, the avocado one, the green guff one. I mean, I'm not so keen on that one, but I did see they're selling it off for 50% off right now. You get it for like 30 bones. I was tempted, but, you know, I'm going to hold back. I'll hold fire on that one. Hold fire on that one. But anyway, let's get back into the preview and stuff, guys. Once again, if you're just joining us, we've got 108 legends watching this afternoon stream right now. We've got 65 likes. You what? We can do better than that, my friends. Bacon Brigade, assemble! Hit the thumbs up button. Let's mash 100 likes right now. Get those thumbs up on the stream. That's right, lads and lasses. Okay, so we want to talk about the next order of the day, which is the form in terms of Manchester United. So this is the form and up against Brentford. So we've got Brentford. Let's get on to Brentford. We've heard what Erik ten Hag said about the team news. And just to reiterate, actually, I've got some more on the team news. What am I on about? We've got plenty more on the team news. So, you know, Tony Martial. We want to hear about Tony Martial, don't we? We want to hear about some of the other players as well that are perhaps, you know, not available. So we know that Christian Eriksen's not available. He's been out since late January due to that game where he sustained that injury against Reading, that Andy Carroll absolute pirate melt, you know, hacked him down and gave away a, you know, obviously stopped us from having Christian Eriksen in our team for a while. Piss off, Andy Carroll. But anyway, he said not tomorrow, but, you know, he's back training. So that's good in regards to Eriksen. And he also said on Wan-Bissaka, he just said that he's back again as well after that injury, or sorry, the illness that kept him out overnight for that game against Newcastle United, which he probably would have, if he didn't have an illness, he probably would have been the first choice player in that game because, like I say, coming up against St. Maximum, it would have made sense to play somebody who's got that defensive bollocks. And then in regards to Tony Martial, Anthony Martial, who we're going to talk about now real quick as well, this is what he had to say. He said that, well, he didn't say anything about Anthony Martial, but it does make sense that he'll be back and available in all fairness, because let's face it, he did come on in the 62nd minute in that game, and he'll be in with a chance of starting in the game tomorrow. And I think we should start Tony Martial tomorrow, guys, even though I think he's a bit of a melter himself. Weghorst is just a bit of a workhorse. He's a bit of a horse in general. And, he's not been that good lately. He has had some good moments in the United shirt. He was actually quite good in that League Cup game against Newcastle United, wasn't he, in the final? But he wasn't very good in the last game. He only had a few touches. He was totally ineffective and meaningless out there. It was a waste of a position, in all fairness. At least with Tony, he's going to give you a bit of prowess up there. If he has a good game, you're going to get goals. You're going to create chances. He's got that silkiness. He's got that skill. He's got the vision. All that sort of stuff. So let's have a little vote in the live chat, though, peeps. Who should be starting at the number 9 at the top of the pitch tomorrow against Brentford? Anthony Martial or Wout Weghorst? Let us know your thoughts and opinions on that. Because Weghorst does provide us some good stuff for the team, but I just think in general, he's too much of a liability. Thank you, Red, for the £2 super chat here, lad. He says, Wout couldn't score in a brothel. Martial must start. Mate, thank you so much there for getting in there, Red, with a super chat, lad. Let's get a raw emoji in. I appreciate you, brother. Get in there. I think you're probably right. He would struggle in a brothel, wouldn't he? He'd probably, like, I don't know, he'd probably pay the £60, and then he'd just, like, sit down on the bed, and then he'd just start talking about his life and his aspirations and stuff. And then next thing you know, 20 minutes has gone by, and she's like, sorry, love, your time's up. Your time's up, Wout. You know what I mean? I think he would probably struggle as well to score in a brothel, lad. I'm not going to be honest with you. So, yeah, good shout. Hey, MKTV, what's going on, broski? How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Sin Games says, just hope we get a few games from him. Good point. With Tony Martial, he's quite injury prone. He's the sort of player that is, you can't rely on him because 1 week he'll probably be tearing it up for you. The next week he'll be injured. And then if he's not injured, he'll probably have a bit of a bottle job game every now and then as well, because that's the sort of guy that he is. But let's have a look what you guys said. Craw says Wout Weghorst. Wessex says Martial. Both says Bruce McIntosh. Hunar, how you doing, Hunar? He says Martial. Chris Koo says Martial surely. Yes. Yes, indeed. If he's fit, Martial, says Berber. Anyone other than Weggy, says Colin Jr. Sean says Martial. Weghorst is Pudu Magoo. Kieran and Uncaged Squid agree that Martial's the way to go. Vote for the team, says Rajat. It's interesting, isn't it? Did you see Gary Neville taking a bit of umbrage with Jamie Carragher on Sky Sports for talking about the fact that Manchester United are better, or no, the other way round, should I say? You know, that Gary Neville made the point that Man United are better as a team with Wout Weghorst up the top of the pitch, and that Wout Weghorst is better for Manchester United than Cristiano Ronaldo. Did you see that, guys? It's an interesting one, isn't it? I mean, for me personally, I can't really fault Gary Neville's logic. Yes, Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the greatest goal scorers of all time. And he proved last season for Man United, he's still a great goal scorer, but he does change the way that the team plays. And so from a team gelling point of view, and for a working together as a team point of view, Weghorst does more for the team, and Weghorst maybe makes us a better team than Cristiano Ronaldo. It sounds crazy to say because Ronaldo's one of the greatest players of all time, and Weghorst can't literally score a goal to save his life. But I do agree with Gary Neville, in all fairness, in regards to like the fact that we are a better unit, we're a better team with Weghorst in the side. Do you agree with Gaza, lads and lasses? Yes or no? But for me, yes, I do agree with what he said, because I think that Cristiano Ronaldo made us change the way we played. Just look at players like Rashi and Bruno last season. They shriveled up and they were behind Ronaldo. They were overshadowed by Ronaldo. You know, he was the main man. Feed me more. He was like that at the top of the pitch, banging his fist on the dinner table. Feed me more. Fee, fi, fo, fum. You know, I don't know why I said that. He's not the giant at the top of the beanstalk. But either way, you know, Cristiano Ronaldo demands certain things from his team. And that makes him a selfish player. He's the sort of player who will quite happily celebrate a teammate's goal. Like we saw in the World Cup. Bruno Fernandes pinged a pass in, and it got registered in the end as a Bruno goal, but it goes like an inch above Cristiano Ronaldo's head. And he acts like he's the one who scored it because he wants that extra stat. He's a stat man, guys. That's all he is. He's a stat man. Skibby-dibby-dibby-dibby-dibby-dip. He's a scat man. A stat man. Maybe he's into that too. It wouldn't surprise me. Somebody's got to have, everybody's got to have something wrong with him. So Cristiano Ronaldo, though, is a stat man, guys, and that's all. G-Wolf United, mate. Thank you so much for getting in here with your highlighted member comment here, boss, and being a member of this channel for 37 months. Can we just get a round of applause in there for G-Wolf United Gaming? And go and subscribe to G-Wolf. He's nearly at 900 subscribers on the YouTube. Get in there, Mr. Wolfster lad. I appreciate you, my friend. Get some Don hats in the live chat and a round of applause. Member for 37 months. Where are you? Let's be having you. Thank you very much, G-Wolf. He says, yo, you absolute legends. Pimping ain't easy. Love to you all and the pig. Let's beat these arse wipes. Mate, thank you very much, Wolfster, for your lovely comment there. And for being a really long time member as well. 37 months is a real long time, but I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I've got huge gratitude towards the Wolfster there. What a legend. Supporting this channel for over 3 years, man. What a hero. What an absolute hero. Thank you very much, Wolfster, for that, lad. Okay, so, Wout Weghorst, is he a better player than Cristiano Ronaldo? No. But is he a better player for the team? Is he a better player for Ten Hag? Yes, because Ronaldo just caused problems for United. Look at that reaction after that Spurs game when he's not brought on, he's just on the bench, and he pisses off early. And he walks down, he has a big huff and a puff, and he walks down the tunnel early. I mean, how pathetic was that, guys? You can't be expected to put up with a prima donna egomaniac like that anymore. So I'd rather have somebody here at the team who's like, yeah, I just want to work super hard, even if he is Wout Workhorse. And he's just working really, really hard, but he's not actually that good. I'd rather that than somebody who's, a complete prima donna, to be fair. Because we're trying to start putting in the same direction together and being a better team. So there you go. Obviously, Ronaldo's way better, but it's not all about that sometimes. Sometimes it's about who's right for the team. But anyway, let's get into the form. We've got Brentford coming up, guys. They're actually in better form than Manchester United right now. So Thomas Frank's Brentford, they did well earlier on in the season against us and drubbed us up right at the start of the season. We want to forget about that, don't we? But in terms of the form guide, this is it. Brentford are 8th in the Premier League form guide right now. I believe, aren't they 7th in the league as well? Let me just double check that. Yes, they are. They're 7th in the league. They're only 7 points behind Man United. They're no mugs whatsoever. Thomas Frank's very astute. They've had a good season. They've got a better goal difference than us, peeps. We've got a goal difference now, one of the worst. We've got a goal difference of 4. +4. They've got a goal difference of +9. And they're only 7 points behind us. Yes, they've played an extra game. They've got a game in hand, but, they're no mugs. So it's not going to be an easy game. But we are Man United at home. We're on the back of some really gash results and performances. Surely we're going to see like a proper reaction now from Manchester United where we just drub up these melts and make a complete statement to say we are not going to whimper out of top 4. We're going to smash up the teams we should now smash up. And we're going to beat them. But I am worried because their form is better than ours. This is their form for the last 6 league games. Going back 6 games ago, they drew with Crystal Palace. Then they beat Fulham 3-2, a team we struggled to beat just recently in the FA Cup. Then they lost to Everton 1-0. Then they beat Southampton 2-0, a team that we struggled to beat just before the international break. Then they drew with Leicester. Then they drew with Brighton. And Brighton are a good team. They're no mugs at all. We know that the last game just a few days ago finished 3-3 against Brighton in a heck of a game. So Brentford can score, and they're hard to beat, guys. I think this proves it. They're hard to beat. They've only lost one game in the last 6, and they've got good goal difference. They are in good form. It's going to be tough. Manchester United, on the other hand, you look at our form, you look at our goal difference, +4. Our form at the moment, we're 11th in the form guide in terms of the table for form. Yeah, we're 4th in the league. We're still in that top 4 spot, but we're 11th in terms of the form. That's bad, guys. You don't want to be slipping down any more than that. So we've had bad results. A draw against Leeds, a win against Leeds, a win against Leicester, 7-0 against Liverpool, a draw against Southampton, and that 2-0 loss against Newcastle in the last game. So the last 3 games, 2 losses and a draw. Big concern. So we have to stop the rot now. # stop the rot. And get things back on track with a big win against Brentford tomorrow. But it's not going to be easy because, as I said, we've got midfield problems still. We've got problems at the top of the pitch for who's going to provide the firepower and the goals. And Brentford are doing quite well at the moment. You know, they're not a bad side at all. So it's not going to be that easy, is it? But you know what? You know what I'm predicting? I'm predicting an absolute drub up of Brentford. I don't want to start getting ahead of ourselves. It will be difficult. It's not going to be easy. But I'm predicting a big positive win for Manchester United. So I'm going to say 3-1 to Manchester United. I think it'll be a tough game. Get your predictions in the live chat now, folks. Hey, by the way, we've got a new member of the channel. Chris Koo is upgraded, actually, his membership from the Bacon Brigade to the Bacon and Egg Brigade. What an absolute legend. Thank you so much, Mr. Koo. What a legend, mate. Get in there. Thank you, Chris Koo. You're a top lad. I really appreciate that. Get a Bacon Brigade emoji in there for Mr. Koo. And Westy05 has gifted out 5 members on the channel. Come on! Get in there, my son! Where are you? Let's be having you! Bacon Brigade! Assemble! Fucking get in there, my son. Thank you for gifting out 5 members there, Westy. That's awesome of you, man. Let's get some #GoingWest in the live chat. He says he's gifted out 5 members and he's gifted it to Bruce McIntosh, Howard Garrix. Also, MKTV was gifted membership by Westy05. Let's go. And Cosmic was gifted a membership along with Kate and Joey. Welcome aboard the Bacon Express, you 5 legends. And thank you once again to Westy05 for gifting out 5 members, mate. That's absolutely class of you. Thank you so much, Westy. Get in there, you legend. Come on. Mikato's got his highlighted member comment in there as well. He's been a member for 18 months. #18 for Mikato. Appreciate you, brother. What a Don lad. He says, how many Easter eggs have you devoured up to now, says Mikato. Honestly, Mikato, honestly, 0, mate. Piggy's on a strict one. You know what I've had for lunch today, guys? Chicken salad. You know what I had for breakfast? An apple, an orange, and a banana. Piggy's on a strict one, man. I'm trying to get my health in order, bud. I'm losing weight. Oh, by the way, guys, dudes, I have to make an announcement. Today, this morning, I weighed 16 stone 7, which is exactly 6 stone less than 22 stone 7, which is what I weighed at the start of my weight loss journey in July 2022. Thank you very much, I know. I'll take a bow right there, guys. 6 stone down the toilet. That's right. I've just pooed it out, guys, over that time. I haven't actually done an exercise. No. 6 stone lighter than 2022 July. 6 stone officially this morning. Come on. Get in there, my son. I'll take the plaudits right now. Yes, thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Where did the 6 stone go? I don't know, Fire Up. But you know what's a bit concerning? I'm still a fat bastard, though. I lost 6 stone, and I'm still a fat bastard. But obviously, it's, it is coming off all over the place. Just a little bit more to go, and we'll get hopefully where we want to go. And I've got to start doing some working out, start doing some exercising, and some toning, and all that sort of stuff. And then hopefully we'll have that beach pod ready for July. I want to see how far I can get after 1 year. So 1 year from the start. That'd be nice. But I haven't eaten any Easter eggs anyway. And I probably won't eat any Easter eggs. The extent of the chocolate I've had is about 4 squares of dark chocolate over the last, few months. That is the extent of all the chocolate that I've actually had. So thank you, Duncan says 6 stone's amazing. Thank you so much, lad. Thank you very much, Burber, you legend. He says I could kiss those cheekbones, bro. No homo, looking chiseled, mate. Thank you so much, mate. You're allowed. You're allowed. Thank you, Wessex. Thank you, Rajat. What is my target weight, says Wessex? Well, I want to be about 15.5 stone of unadulterated steel and sex appeal, lad. So, you know, I don't want to get too thin because I'm a big lad. I'm 6'2", I've got broad shoulders, I'm a big lad. But I want to just like beef out. Basically, I want to look like Randy Orton. You know, just be about 15 and a half, 16 stone, but have a bit of muscle and, you know, not be a complete mess. That would be nice. But I'm super flabby at the moment because I haven't been able to do any exercise whatsoever, man. Anyway, thank you for that, guys. Chris K has become a member of the channel. He's just became a member. Guys, welcome in Chris K with your favourite member emoji. I'm going to bang in a hell yeah. Thank you very much there, guys. That's fucking awesome of you. Thank you very much to Chris K. Loads of new members today. Wesley gifting out 5 and a bunch of new ones. Chris Koo became a member, upgraded his membership, I should say, and Chris K and also other legends as well. So thank you very much, everybody, for that. I really appreciate that one, Chris K, lad. Come on. New member. Da-da-da. Appreciate you. Chris K, lad. Thanks for supporting the channel, man. It means a lot to me, guys. Just want to reiterate that. I really do appreciate every one of these people out here, in here, that supports this channel by being a member. You know, it's absolutely special and sensational. So there's the form on the screen, guys. We were talking about it a minute ago. But here's the form for the last 6 league games for Manchester United. A draw, 2 wins, and then the last 3 games, pitiful. A loss against Liverpool, a draw against Southampton, a loss against Newcastle United. Shocking. And overall, our form in all competitions looks a bit better because obviously we had that Europa League game. We had that game against Fulham, which we won somehow as well. So our overall form in competitions is a little bit better, but that one's very concerning. If you look at Brentford's Premier League form, it is a little bit better than Manchester United's. 3 draws, 2 wins and a loss. Very respectable. Puts them 8th in the form guide and puts them 7th in the Premier League. It's going to be a tough game, guys. Oh, yes, sorry. I sort of, because it was all kicking off there in the live chat, I sort of like glossed over everybody's predictions for the game. So let's get it in there again then, guys, because I missed it. What is your prediction for the game tomorrow? I'm going for 3-1 to United. I think Martial's going to get on the score sheet. I think Bruno's going to redeem himself after a proper gashed game. And I think Rashford's going to redeem himself after a proper gash game. Rashford's been so good for Manchester United this season. We're not going to slag him off for one bad game. He's been our best player. But, you know, he needs to hopefully get back to scoring ways and just get that bad game off of his back. But, yeah, 3-1 says Craw. 2-2 says must play. Sean's going United to win 1-0. Duncan's going 4-0 to United. Wessex Mercier says 3-2 to United. You feel it'll be a high-scoring game. Rashad's going for 1-0 to United, hopefully. Colin Jr.'s going 2-2. Berber's going for a 4-1 emphatic victory. Let's be having you. G-Wolf's going for a 3-0 as well. I like it, I like it. Yeah, Chris Koo, 4-0 revenge would be sweet, wouldn't it? Absolutely. Sing Games is going 5-1 Brentford to score first. That would be filthy. 2-0 says John Boy Cat. 4-2 says Westy05. Rashi double. Love it. Rashi at the double. Come on. James T and Howard Garrick's both saying 2-1. Oh, no. James is saying 2-1 to Brentford. Howard says 2-1 to United. 3-0 to United, says My Own Genesis. I like your style, Pete. Thanks very much for getting your prediction in. Everyone's feeling positive, even though we have been crap lately. Don't think it's too much to worry about personally because it's just a bad run. It's going to happen to you at some point. Ten Hag's had amazing things this season. The last few games have been very disappointing in the performances and the results. But, you know, I think he's got the ability to turn it around. I think he'll learn from some of the mistakes he made in the last game. We've got Martial back in the side. Perhaps he will bench McTominay now as well and have Fred come in. And hopefully Fred can have a really good game for us as well. Let's get on to the team prediction then, folks. This is what I think Erik ten Hag is going to select. Not necessarily what I want to happen, but this is the team that I think Eric's going to put out there to tomorrow. We'll see. Let me know if you agree or not. But I'll bang it up on the screen here. So David De Gea in goal. I've gone with Tyrell Malacia on the left-back spot. I know Luke obviously just signed a new contract. You've heard Erik ten Hag. We spoke about it earlier at the start of the show, singing his praises and being very happy about the fact that he signed a new contract. But I just got a feeling that Tyrell Malacia is going to be unleashed against Brentford. He's not played for a little while. He will provide you that fresh legs as well. Luke Shaw's played just the other day and, you know, probably will not be 100%. So I'm just thinking maybe it does make a little bit more sense to play Malacia in the game. So that's why I've gone with that. I think Ten Hag will play Malacia. Martinez and Varane at the back. He could mix that position up, I suppose. We don't want to give too much too quickly to Varane because he's injury prone. But we've got to play these guys right now. It's only been a few days, but we've got to play these guys right now. And then over on the other side, I have gone for the Spider Wan-Bissaka. Now, that's a bit of contention. Maybe Wan-Bissaka's not 100%, but we did hear the quotes from Erik ten Hag earlier on. to say that Wan-Bissaka will be returning, has returned to training following his illness, Ten Hag confirms. So we know that he's back in action, or should be in the matchday squad at the very least. I think he'll start. Dalot wasn't insanely good in the last game. And Wan-Bissaka, if it was just a 24-hour bug or a fitness, he's probably absolutely fine now to just slot in and play the majority of the game. Maybe he won't be fit to play the 90 minutes, but 70 minutes, get him in the starting lineup and let him just absolutely boss it. So I'm hoping that Wan-Bissaka starts, and I'm thinking that Ten Hag goes with the Spider. In the midfield, I have gone with a different midfield because the last game, it just didn't work at all. Bruno alongside Sabitzer with McTominay in the hole at times was strange. So I think he's going to revert to Bruno in the hole and Sabitzer and Fred coming back into the side to do a really good, energetic performance for us, hopefully. So Sabitzer looked okay in the last game. He didn't exactly set the world alight, but I think he was probably better than McTominay and Bruno. So we'll stick with him for this game. We don't have a lot of options. All these other players are injured. So Sabitzer and Fred start for me in the midfield. Rashford on the left picks himself, really. What a baller. Let's hope that he just forgets about that bad game in the last game and starts with a bang and scores us a goal early doors in this one. Bruno Fernandes in the hole. He had a shitter of a game as well. Captain Canada. Gashing up the place. Don't know why I said that. How random was that in my post-match? Just come out with Bruno's like Captain Canada. Makes no sense. But either way, he was gash, is what I'm saying. I mean, not to disrespect Canada. Canada's not gash. But he's not Captain America, is he? That's what I'm saying. He's not Captain America. So we need him to be more like Captain America, like a superhero performance would be nice. So I'm hoping that he does well and plays a lot better than the last game. But I think he'll be back in the hole. Okay, the right-hand side of the pitch is a tough one. Anthony was okay. He was not great. I didn't like his performance, but somebody said after the game to me, and they're probably right, he was our best attacker. And that's true, but that's not saying much at all, is it? Because everybody in that Newcastle game was pathetic and pitiful and gashtastic. If you look at the likes of Weghorst and Bruno and McTominay and Rashford even, they were all abysmal. So yes, Anthony was the better performer out of those forward players, but he was still terrible though, if you ask me. So, in my humble opinion, he shouldn't really be starting. Plus, Sancho didn't look great when he came on either, but he's not had that many opportunities. Maybe it's time to just give him a game from the start and unleash him and see what he can do and try and give him a chance to prove himself. If he doesn't take that chance by the 65th minute, rip him off. But I think it's fair that he deserves a chance. What do you think, guys? I mean, we've got Pellistri as well. We've got Pellistri who's maybe more deserving of a cheeky opportunity there as well. What do you think, guys? Have a vote. Who should be playing right wing for Manchester United? Who should play right wing for the game tomorrow against Brentford? Anthony, Sancho, or Pellistri? He might play Pellistri, says Red. Well, he might do, but he doesn't seem to stick these youngsters in there too soon early doors in the games. He seems to like to bring them on. I don't know. Perhaps. Anthony, says Kingslayer. Next year, Ahmad, says Rajat. Pellistri, says Fire Up. Beckham, says James T. Pellistri, 100% for me, says Sing Games. I'd love to see Pellistri as well. He's the player that I would like to put in there because he's probably more deserving it than Sancho. Sancho's been absolutely fucking gasho recently. And you look at, Anthony, he's very hit or miss as well. So I would favour Pellistri as well, but I just don't think Ten Hag's going to select him. Kate Cadet says Pellistri. No more Anthony, says Superfat Frank. Sully says, who would win in a race between Maguire and Weghorst? Oh my goodness me. Who would win in a race between Maguire and Weghorst? That's a tough one, that is. Crikey. I think it would be a bore draw. You know what I mean? It'd be the slowest 100 metres you ever seen, a 33-second 100 metres, and they both cross the line simultaneously. Maybe Slabby Maguire might just win because he's got that bigger cranium on him, and if he just leans forward a little bit at that last moment, that might be enough to get the job done. You know what I mean? So I'm going to say Maguire just by a fringe. Pellistri's absolutely class. He is, isn't he, Colin? Give Pellistri a chance. Agreed, Chris Koo. I'm completely with you. But just got a feeling that Sancho, with his experience and his slightly more senior role in the squad, is going to get the nod in the game. But there you go. So we'll see. I hope you guys are right. I hope Pellistri is the guy that comes in. But got a feeling that Sancho's going to start this game. And we'll probably see Pellistri a bit later on. And then up top, the striker position, the player that I think he's going to select is none other than the man, Tony Martial, who has just come back to fitness. He came on, I think it was at the 62nd minute he came on in the last game against Newcastle. We needed him because Weghorst was absolutely terrible. He didn't really do anything, but still we did look a little bit better with Martial on the pitch. He gives you that ability to take people on. He gives you that speed and that pace, and bit of creativity, and a goal threat as well. That's very important for your number 9 to have a goal threat. He's a good finisher on his day, Tony. Weghorst is not a good finisher. You know, he's not a good finisher. If you give him a roast dinner to eat, he's eating half the Yorkshire pud. He's accidentally slipping one of the sausages under the table. It slips off his plate and it's hairy, so he's not going to eat that. You know, he's going to try and yum down as much as the turkey as possible, but he's not going to be able to finish the whole lot. You know, he's a bit of a melter, is what I'm saying. He can't finish his dinner, in other words. He will struggle to create and score goals for Manchester United. So I think Tony Martial's the one. Tony Martial's the one for tomorrow, because he's just better than Weghorst as a goal threat. He's not obscenely good or anything. He's kind of a bit frustrating player himself, Tony. I'd get rid of them both in the summer, in fact, and bring in a new striker. But I do think he's probably the option to go for tomorrow rather than Weghorst. Manny Slouflaki, how are you, good sir? He says, mate, what is going on with this club? One day we're beating Barca. Next we fold to Newcastle. When is Casemiro back, mate? He's banned for 2 more games, bud. So this game and the next game. And then after that, he's back. 2 more games without Cassie. I know, it's a nightmare. What's good about that, though, Manny, is that Eriksen's back in training today, which means that probably by the time Casemiro's back, Eriksen will be back as well, which means that we'll have, you know, that Eriksen and Casemiro combination in midfield, which we've been missing so very greatly. But you're right, we need Casemiro back in the side. Without him, we look absolutely guff-tastic. I think that's what's happened there, Manny. We've not got the depth quality. We need better quality players to come in when we have injuries, when we have suspensions, when we've got players outside. We need better options, and we don't have those options. So I think that's really hurt us the last few games. It's not a good enough excuse. It's not a good enough reason to not try or look so unmotivated against Newcastle, or bottle it against Fulham up until they implode, or draw with Southampton after getting a man sent off, or bottle it 7-0 to Liverpool. You know, it's not a good enough excuse, but it's a factor. We haven't had our best players out there. It's a factor, definitely. Yep. Chris P says, how long has Eriksen been out? He's been out since January now, I think, hasn't he? He's been out for a good period of time, a good few months now. Pretty sure it was January we played Reading, and that Andy Carroll melter scythed him down. Yeah, it's very sad how bad we are without Casemiro going. She's damn right. Well, the good news is that we're still in the top 4. He's coming back in 2 games' time. We've still got other players going back to fitness, like Donny and Christian Eriksen as well. So Eriksen and Casemiro, once they're back, will be a better team. And then what's good is in the summer, hopefully we'll have new owners. Hopefully we'll go out there and spend big money on the midfield. And we'll hopefully sign 1 or 2 really great midfielders. So if we can get Declan Rice or Palhinha, you know, proven Premier League, defensive-minded midfielders, somebody that can come in and do a job when Cassie's not available, and to just challenge and contend and keep that competitiveness going on there in the midfield, that would be great. And then if we can get somebody to contend with the likes of Eriksen, to be more creative, passer, you know, a box-to-box type player, that would be brilliant as well. So yes, that's what's going to happen in the summer. It's pretty obvious. We know what players we need, strikers and midfielders. We know what players we need more than any other position. So once that happens, I do think we'll be absolutely spot on next season, because we've still got those guys, Cassie and Eriksen. But if we just add quality and depth, we've got to get rid of a lot of melters this summer, guys. We've got so many pretenders and hangers-ons. We need to get rid of McTominay. He's a guff bag. You know, Donny van der Beek, is he ever really going to do it for us? I know he's been injured. It's not his fault. He's had a tough time of it. Never really given that many opportunities. But he's kind of guff. So he's not really the man, is he? You know, we've got hangers-on like perhaps Lindelof, perhaps Phil Jones, definitely. Harry Maguire's an absolute guff bag. Tony Martial, in my opinion, we could definitely do with improving upon him. Wout Weghorst is a good, decent guy. He's a workhorse, but he's not quality enough for Manchester United, if we're being totally brutally honest. I like him, you know, we could do worse as a backup, but, you know, he's not that great, is he? McTominay needs to go. You know, there's a lot of players at United that are just not good enough. I just named about 5 to 7 players that should go in the summer. So I think we've got to get at least 5 new players in. I'm talking 2 forwards, 2 midfielders, and perhaps a right back to come in and replace a lot of these guff bags. And a centre back as well. So let's hope that we do see Man United go out there in the summer and spend a big ton of cash on players. That would be absolutely sensational. So, yes, so there you go, guys. That's my team selection prediction for the game. It's possible that we'll see something entirely different. Who knows? He might go with Weghorst again. He might go with Anthony again on the right. He might go with Pellistri. He may well go with McTominay in the midfield, but I don't think he should. I think this lineup here, he could go with Luke Shaw at the left back. He could go with Dalot right back. But I think this lineup here makes a bit of sense. Some of the players coming in who perhaps deserve a chance based on how bad some of the other players have been. maybe makes a bit of sense. Rotate it a little bit. So we'll see. But that's my team prediction for the game tomorrow. Yeah, Gungshi, he hopes Martial starts up front as well. Yep, Kate says we'll only spend a lot in the summer if we get new ownership. Certainly, if the Glazers are looking to sell the football club soon, and even if they drag it out to beyond the summer, they're not going to want to invest loads of money then. Definitely not. So I agree with you. The only way we do spend big is if we get new owners. Right, okay. Yeah, that's right, Charlie Pritchard. We did a little video about it earlier. Go and check that out if you want to hear a bit more about the Frimpong news. Okay, guys, so that's going to be pretty much, that's the preview. That's the preview for the game and the team news and the reaction to Ten Hag's presser right there. We've got a little FIFA stream coming up in a minute over on the gaming channel. Thank you, Gungshi says, I agree with your selection, Big. Thank you, the Don. We've got a little FIFA stream coming up on the gaming channel here, guys, and it's going to be in literally a minute or a few minutes. I'll put it at the top of the live chat. Please do us a favour and go over there and smash a like on it and wait patiently for me to begin. I'll be there in a few minutes. We're going to be playing FIFA over on the gaming channel. And I'm just going to end that poll there. Thanks for everybody voting on the Wan-Bissaka Dalot situation. I can see that 73% of the live chat prefer Wan-Bissaka. They say he's the better right back. 26% say Dalot. So Dalot's good going forward. Wan-Bissaka's a defensive beast. That's the difference between them, really. FIFA stream, come on, let's go, Charlie. But thank you, everyone. We haven't even got 100 likes. Mate, my channel is absolutely muddied at the moment. What the fuck's going on? But thank you all of you for watching. But mate, what's going on, mate? It's absolutely, we are in the mud. We're like Liverpool right now. Hopefully things will pick up. But anyway, thank you every single one of you guys for getting in here for the stream. I appreciate you all. Smash that like button before you go. Let's see if we can get 100 likes. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel. If you're new to the channel, get yourself subscribing. Thank you to Cradius. It was a good stream. Thank you so much, bud. Yep. Like, subscribe, comment. If you're new, get involved by subscribing. Click the bell icon for notifications as well. Thank you to all the new members in the channel. I really appreciate you all. Thank you for Westy for gifting out 5 members. Thank you for everyone for your support on the show. That's the end of this preview. You can come back afterwards. I'd appreciate it if you did and get your comments in the not live comment section about who you think Man United should sign, you know, in the summer, but also what team selection we should play in the game tomorrow, and also what score prediction you think it's going to be. I'm going for 3-1 to the mighty Red Devils. Come on. Thank you, Vutinator. Thank you, Berber. All the mods like Gungshi and everyone. Thank you for moderating the chat, guys. Thank you to all the members in green like Red, Chris, Rajat, Chris Koo, Chris K, Butterpants, Vuti, Berber, Rajat, Chris, Wiggy, Wessex Mercier, John Boy Cat, Howard Garrix, and everybody else as well. I really appreciate you all for being here, guys. That's the end of the show. Come back with your predictions after the show. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch at Flying Pig United. Check out the website, flyingpigunited.com. Thank you, Sin Games, you legend. Thank you, On the Head Football Live. See you on the FIFA in a minute. Yeah, so the stream's at the top of the live chat. Go over there, smash a like on it, and we'll see you as soon as possible, guys. Thank you, everybody. That's it for the preview. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Come on, United! Time to mash up these Brentford melts and get a bit of redemption. Come on, the lads. We can do it. See you then, folks. That's it for the show. Much love, and remember, Piggy loves you. Also remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, as this is because they sink, sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.